Okay, hi everyone. This is Mentor Tooba. I'm the founder, owner, and lead trainer at On-Time Training and Consultancy Services. So this event is organized with the intention of sharing the success story of our senior delegate, Dr. Ali Zeeshan Gardezi Saab. And we are going to talk about his insightful journey, his lessons learned, his some tips and tricks that he has learned during his journey, and he would like to share that with you guys. So we are going to talk about it like in a while, but before that, let's start off with a brief introduction about myself and the company, as well as about our delegate as well, and then we will formally begin the conversation. So on-time training and consultancy services is a professional training and consultancy setup where we offer the training and professional support and mentoring for project procurement, portfolio management, as well as governance. So we are primarily the promoters and advocate of the Project Management Institute standard and mindset. And accordingly, we do offer the training, consultancy, and support for multiple credentials, including PMP, BJMP, RMP, ACP, etc. Apart from that, we also offer the training, the consultancy and project management and program management support in a variety of different ways as well. For instance, we do offer the PMO consultancy. We do offer the support to the startups and the small organization in setting up their processes and in setting up their project management practices and program management practices. We do offer the support for counseling and advisory to the project and program management professionals. So if you need any such services, you can reach out to us separately. I will share the communication channels in the chat box. So this is a brief about the company. Now let's move to Dr. Ali. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ali, and I'm very grateful for you to join, for you to take out the time from your busy schedule and to join us to share your lessons learned during your PMP journey. So a brief introduction about yourself, your professional journey, so that participants know more about you, and then we will formally begin the PMP related conversation.
Sure, Tooba. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Let me a bit about myself. I started my career as a professional engineer after doing my undergrad back in 2001 in Pakistan as ammonia engineer. Was involved in commissioning project in Pakistan. Then basically came to US, did my master's and my PhD here. And during my PhD time, I actually developed a technology of biomass to liquids, and then extended it for landfill to liquids for US Department of Energy. And after that, I did my postdoc with Shell, United States, in collaboration with University of Houston. And then after that, I was basically involved in commissioning and startup of a 100 barrels demonstration gas to liquids plant. And right now, I am actually a project manager with Nourion, which is an offshoot of ExxonMobil. They've been with them for now more than 3 years. Have a wonderful time with them. So I would say a total of 25 years in various positions, from operations all the way to process, then to R&D, then to technology management, system management, as well as commissioning lead. So various roles I have been in, which have definitely, have various flavors of different challenges that came along the way. And that's pretty much a little bit about my career. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali. So you have an extensive profile already. So what made you believe that PMP is going to be a good choice to boost up your knowledge, skill set, as well as a support in your professional journey? So why did you go for PMP?
A very relevant question, Tooba. I would put it this way. Whenever I did whatever projects I have done in US, except for the one I'm doing right now, they were mostly for startup companies. When you are with a startup company, most of the time they are unaware of the traditional philosophies of waterfall model, agile model, or hybrid. And I always felt that there is a need, either we are missing something, or the way the project is being initiated, mostly thinking from technical point of view, going through the risks, and then basically going through extensive lesson learned. There was always I always felt a need that there must be a route, a different route of managing a project, which could have by which we could have saved a lot of time. And then right along the way, I came across some of my older colleagues, especially they were from Pakistan agrochemicals, and I would appreciate during some of the discussions it was a mention of you and of PMP, that there is basically a formal education and an oversight available on how to utilize the project management, the credentials, as well as like the criteria, and how to apply them to various kind of projects, because different projects have different requirements. And that led me towards you, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay, great. And after doing this and after, covering this extensive journey where you learned a lot, a different set of tools, techniques, processes, different ways of working, how do you think that or how much do you think you would be in a position to apply in your professional role, in your organization, with your team and all? Do you really think that whatever you have learned, maybe not 100% of that, but to some extent, maybe 30%, 40%, you would be in a position to actually implement and apply? Because this is a question that we receive from our, aspirants, that is there
Right.
actually like, a way to practically implement it? It's like always in the theory, best practices, like so good to, learn in the books, but there is no practical implementation of these standards and best practices actually in the real world.
I think it's a very relevant question. I would give now two types. I will answer it in two ways. One is, how am I applying right now whatever I have learned in my current job and responsibility. I give you a few examples of it. Number one, while I was studying, I applied decision tree analysis, basically to select whether should go for two small boilers at the plant, or a single large separate boiler would be useful. The decision helped me actually to take the right step, number one. Secondly, I did a value stream mapping of high purity metal organics. That's another project I'm doing to assess the waste time of the current loading system and how I can improve upon the design to make it more efficient. Number three, I actually did a full we at our facility in Nurion, we call it HS2, or HS3 studies, which are more like project risk assessment. And whatever learnings I had, and especially risk assignment matrix and resource assignment matrix, these two things, they were really, really, really important for me, because when you are gathering a requirement assignment matrix, that whenever we are gathering the requirements, we are gathering it over the period of time. What happens is that if you have to go and check what was the source of requirement, where are you going to apply it, especially when there is a quick turnaround, or there is a lot of I would say the manpower iteration is a lot on a facility. That kind of a tool is very useful and has helped me actually. I have developed one requirement assignment matrix, and this is basically available for the folks to actually assess whatever the requirements I am selecting for my current projects. How are they related to work packages? What kind of deliverables they are basically connected with, and what will be the ultimate goal of the project they are going to help. So all of these learnings, these are, I would say, the right way I have applied while I was taking the education. However, there is a long-term benefit as well, I would say, because the dividends you can get by through learning PMP are countless. Number one, it gives you equip you with a tool which not a lot of individuals or professionals have with them at present. So that makes you a very good candidate for, I think, top tier companies, especially in a country like US as well, like SpaceX. I would say NASA. I would say ExxonMobil. They are looking for individuals who have very good understanding of agile practices. So there is a short term benefit as well as a long term benefit. And I would like to say, as a working professional, that it has a direct connection, at least to my job. I'm a project engineer and a project manager, and I apply pretty much most of the tools. Charter, scope baseline, work breakdown structure, the net sequence networking, all of that has a direct connection to what I am doing in my job.
Wonderful, wonderful. And this is exactly the right essence of learning these credentials, best practices, and taking it from a more professional and practical perspective. So this is the right utility of learning these credentials, I would say. Anyways, moving forward with our conversation. Um, I mean, this is the question which is going to be of interest to the future aspirants of PMP who are actually actively preparing for the exam, and
Sure.
they would like to know that from a more exam perspective, how did you prepare? How much time did you allocate? Like overall, your prep, journey was how many months or weeks long, and in a day or in a week, how much time did you allocate? How did you study, or
Okay.
what did you do to make it work for you?
Sure, I would give. This is a very, very important question because for me, it was like a journey. I do remember one time Varun said in one of his videos, and I mentioned that to you as well, that it's more of a journey. And for me, it proved to be, because it was, I think, a journey of self discovery as well. Because I'm an individual who most of the time applies brute force to solve a problem, right? But this journey has changed my philosophy. I have started applying agile in my personal learning as well. How? Basically, adapting to the schedule, having a short feedback loop with my mentor, then whatever the requirement is, keeping that. I would not say that I made a product backlog for my practice for exam, but it was something like that. Hey, what brings the highest value, and what is the highest risk? And that basically was a change of personality. I would say I have become a different person after this. I was not like that. I'm, as I said, I always use brute force, going, okay, learning the concept, applying it, then basically preparing for exam, and then just rushing myself towards it. Okay, now just put the metal to the pedal and then just go for it, and that's pretty much it. But not like that anymore. That is what I would say my short term journey was. And then the relevance to exam, I would like to give a to share a small joke with folks. I went ahead actually and I paid $90 for with PMI to actually get a practice exam. And you know what? When I opened that practice exam, it was already given to me by Tooba for free. I have already done that. So I wasted $90. So I have, well, I wouldn't say I wasted it, but I'm just trying to give you an example that trust your mentor. Yeah, my journey was long because my career path is a bit different from the usual one. I am on a full-time job. I am a project manager. Don't have all like I have a certain part of the time available for me for study. But in that context, I would like to give you an example which was given in the simulator, that if you study late at night, it will not help you. And I have, because when they were, I think somebody, either you or Varun, was discussing that curve, that scatter diagram, that there is an inverse relationship if you study late at night with the success. And I always found that if I study basically with my fresh mind, early in the morning, even if it's a Saturday or Sunday, I did very well in the exams. If I push myself, no, I will study till 4 in the morning, and kept doing it, oh my God, during the last hour, I'm just gone. And perhaps that reflected on me in my exam as well. My exam was at 8 in the morning. I was very fresh, and I just went and I did it, and I was able to successfully do it. So I would say that this was a long journey for me. It took me like a year basically to do it. However, as I think you were there all along the way. I really appreciate, and I would like to mention that, because not I have done other projects as well, other certifications as well. However, it's seldom that the mentor is available to you all along the way, and she is willing to be a part of your journey. And Tooba, I would like to mention that was very impressive and inspiring, because it felt like you were there. Whenever I needed it, you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ali, for mentioning me and for appreciating the efforts. But primarily, the efforts were coming from your side, and this is the fact, actually. So, I would like to take a moment to tell everybody who is in the room, as well as who is going to listen to this webinar later on, that this journey actually requires persistence, focus, patience. Like that is the primary trait that is demanded from a candidate, or from uh, from someone who is new to this, who has just started. I mean, rushing it is not the key. There is no shortcut to success. And after learning this skill set, you will actually get to understand, and I'm sure Ali is going to vouch me on this, that you would start feeling that you have actually earned something, not only a badge, but a skill set for life. I mean, your life is changed. If you are going to do it the right way, your life is altogether changed. You will be a different person and a professional after doing this, after learning this skill set. At least this is what I felt after doing my PMP. And I keep on hearing this feedback from not from everyone, because not everyone does it the way these credentials expect or demand. But those who actually do it the right way, like yourself, they feel the essence, the worth of it, right? And this is exactly you know the achievement, the right achievement. Now, the badge alone is not the achievement. What you have learned along the way, how much confident you are feeling as a professional, as a person in your organization, in your role, about your skill set, about the betterment you are feeling in different things that you do, not only at work, but like from the start of the day till the end of the day. This is the right, expectation from this course. So yeah, being a mentor, I should be there to guide you the right way, to provide you the right stuff and right artifacts, to help you out if you are losing on morale, or if you're demotivated, or if you're not on track, or if you're not going in the right direction. This is the role of the mentor, right? To keep you in the right track. But the effort should be coming from your side. The commitment, the willingness, that should be coming from your side. And the other very important trait is that you should not be giving up, right? Because at times, people start feeling like they are not able to do that. It's very tough. It's very overwhelming, and they just start getting, carried away with the idea that we are not really the right fit for this skill set. But this is actually not the case. Anyways, moving forward, Ali, maybe people would also like to know that while you were in the exam room, while you were writing the exam, how did you experience those 3 hour, 15-minute time? Like, what different strategies did you apply to get over the exam, especially like the time management part, the pressure dealing part, and people are nervous, they are anxious, they are at times they are depressed as well before the exam and during the exam. So, any tips that you would like to share to the participants?
Right. I would, a couple of things I would mention in that. I would start with your mocks. If I would like to say that if you have done the mocks which are given to you, trust your mentor. First of all, if she's giving you a mock and you are kind of getting the feeling that it is too easy or too hard, don't get boggled away with that or get carried away with that. It's the part of the strategy. So if you will do the mocks the way they're given to you, believe you me, when you will go in the exam, you will find it very relevant to what you have prepared for. And obviously, a couple of that's first of all, that's the part of preparation. As far as the exam itself is concerned, as you already know, it has 60-minute portions. Okay, initial 20 to 30 minutes, what I have found, and that's my own assessment, maybe others can disagree with me, but what I have seen, initial 30 or 40 minutes define your fate in the exam. Because the way you are managing yourself, if you have got the momentum going, it will kind of last till the very end of the exam. But if for some reason you are spending extra time in trying to become, trying to overcorrect yourself, especially then in first 30 or 40 minutes, you will find out that the time is just lapsing and you may have done only 24 problems or 21 problems. So 1 minute per problem, I think, after a proper practice is definitely possible. It's not, if somebody is telling you to spend a minute on a question, it's not an unrealistic expectation. If you have done extra proper practice and you understand the strategies which are told to you, it is possible to spend a minute on a question, which gives you time to spare. But one mistake which I was doing, and I would like to mention, that when you go towards the review part of it, unless the timer is still running, I thought when I was reviewing the question that timer somehow stopped. And I have some extra time for review, which is on top of the exam time. That is not the case. So I wasted five. Fortunately, I suspected that my timer is running, and I raised the hand, and the examiner came and told me, "Hey, your timer is still on, and you have spent 5 minutes on review," which I was like. So I just said, "Okay, no problem. I think I'm confident. I'll skip further and move on." So be very careful of what is told to you, or what are the time limits, how the exam is distributed, what is how much time should you spend on review. All of that strategy should be developed up front. Also, when you go towards to the exam center or a Pearson venue for exam or examination center, one mistake I did, I had a book with me. They suggested not to bring anything, just bring yourself. That's pretty much it. Because extra materials, last minute prep, this is all, I think, in their eyes kind of negative, because they told me, "Hey, put the book in the shelf, and if you come back next time and open this shelf and touch that book, we will actually disqualify your exam." Well, I never had time to go back and check anything, but I'm just trying to help other folks that they know that it's better just prepare, finish and the night earlier. If Tooba is telling you to do that, she's right in telling you that, and then just go with your full preparation, just yourself, and go and give the exam.
Okay, great. And so you really mentioned in a very detailed way about the time management part, which is actually a challenging aspect when it comes to the exam itself. And one should be really careful about that, about the overall time as well as the time they are taking per question and for a particular set. All of that is important. But how did you get over the exam? Because people are nervous, they are anxious, and they at times they are shivering. And I mean, did you face anything like that, or you were just okay, very calm, composed, and
Tuba, I think I would put the phrase "practice makes a man perfect." I think that because the more you have done the practice, gives obviously the timed practice, as you told me. When you start doing the time practice, you start focusing yourself, you bring yourself in the zone. That for me, at least, that works this way, that I started coming in the zone. And I told my wife a night earlier that I'm ready. I think today, next tomorrow, I'm going to pass this exam because I have done so much practice and I knew how I was going through the problems, and the time management with the practice was improving. So nervousness on the first attempt, or nervousness is natural, I think. However, if you have done the practice, there are obviously I would say that's the best part of it, that my practice made me confident that, hey, I have done this part. I know my stuff. Okay, now all I have to do is to solve these problems. Worst case scenario, if I have to go and re-prepare myself, I am going to re-prepare myself, but I think there will not be a need, because the more you practice, the more variation, or I would say the more colors you go through, or I would say the more variation in the questions you have faced, the more the concepts become clear.
Okay.
Concept clarity as well as a strategy. Like, I will give one particular example. Actually, one example comes to mind. Like, if you are solving a problem statement comes and there are four choices. There are three very lucrative choices where you have to go and decide, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then there is a fourth choice which says sit, think, and basically then decide. Most of the problems, if you go for PMP, they are like that. They will say, okay, what will you do? And you will see there will be three choices with rapid actions: fire somebody, or basically take a decision, or leave you, or somebody else go and do your job for you. And there will be a choice: sit, discuss with people, and basically come with a strategy to go around the problem. Most of the time, that is the answer.
Yeah, collaboration and like taking everybody along and do it in a team oriented manner. Usually, like that's a choice. Rather, you just do it in your silos and all. But
Definitely.
I get I get your point. So I totally understand that you are emphasizing on the fact that practice is the key, and this is actually
For sure.
the right tip. If you as an aspirant are going to get hold of it, you will definitely be in the right direction. So that actually brings my next question: that how many mocks do you think did you prepare? And if I particularly talk about the content
Sure.
that I shared with you, the different training material, the slides, the mocks, the practice tests, the videos, and all, along with that simulator that we partner with another organization, EDU of a spot. What was the quality of the material with respect to the relevance in the exam? That's the number one question. And uh, approximately how many mocks did you practice? Because this is a common question that we receive, especially from those people who are actively preparing for their exam. That, I mean, is
Sure.
there a limit to it? Like two mocks are enough, four mocks are enough? So what would you say?
I would add a third question in that too, if you don't mind.
Sure.
That how should a person prepare? That what shades, as I used the word shades earlier, like should he go just for mock? Should he read blog? Should he read a book? What that I will also answer. So I will take one at a time. First question, you said quality and relevance of the mocks you gave us. As I already gave you the example, and I think the real life example is the best example to give. I went and purchased a mock from PMI, and that was exactly what you already gave me. So whatever you were giving, that gave me a lot of confidence in your mocks too. I'll be very straight with you, and I would like to tell the folks, other folks as well, that whenever your mentor is giving you a mock, there were times I had doubts. I will not deny that, but those doubts over the time went away. Trust your mentor, and they are relevant to the exam. They are what you are going to see. Obviously, the exam is it's not going to plagiarize. It's a very established organization, PMI. The exam they are giving them, they take pride in that their exams are not plagiarized. But relevance of the material, relevance of the strategy, understanding how to pick a right choice, those all are given or are related to what to the marks that are being given to you by your mentor. That then in the I think from that perspective, I would say the mocks are spot on as far as the quality of mocks are concerned. However, I would like to mention one thing, and I think I'm not trying to make anybody scared of it. There are certain questions in the exam which have absolutely no relevance to anything. They can come. I think Tuba might be telling you that they're part of exam. Don't waste your time on them. I would like to say move on. When it is an exam and time management is very important. If you feel like an exam a problem is taking 5 minutes and you don't have 5 minutes, don't waste your time trying to understand the most difficult problem that is there in the exam. So that's the part of the quality. Then how many mocks I did? Hard to count. Okay,
I
I
know.
would give you a ballpark figure, or I would say rough order of magnitude analysis. Put it in PMI perspective our PMP study. Uh, at least 50.
Yes, I was about to say the same, that it was
Yeah.
15 to 20 mocks that you did
Yes.
this.
Yes,
So
20 marks basically they are enough. If you have done 20 marks, this is you are pretty much ready for it. So that's my I would say my ballpark estimate on the marks. But the question I added myself, what should be the quality of your preparation? I would add some comments I had and my learnings I had on that. I think you should not limit yourself as far as your learning is concerned. You should read the blogs. There are blogs out there from PMI. There are very learned individuals. They have written good articles about various aspects of project management, agile, hybrid. Do read them. And sometime, like I would tell you, there was a blog on risk assessment, starting from SWOT all the way going towards the flowchart mapping, and that was one of the wonderful articles I read about. And then there was one on I was not understanding Spike. What is Spike? How is Spike relevant? And I went ahead and read a blog which was written by one of the PMI member, and I really liked that blog. That clarified a lot of concepts. So read book, read blogs, go through the simulator, trust your mentor, and obviously my suggestion would be apply agile in your practice. Go for quick feedback loop with your mentor, and all of that should help you in passing the exam.
thank you very much, Dr. Ali. That's very, very helpful, I would say. One other thing that I would like to particularly ask, and there's a reason behind that as well, because you were part of my training and exam prep course, where you
Sure.
opted for the live training that actually help you earn the 35 PDUs requirement as
Sure.
well. Uh, I am asking this question because people like mocks and practice is like a one very important step in your preparation, but that is a later step. Like mocks are
Sure.
actually directly dependent on that
Hmm.
understanding of the PMI mindset,
Sure.
the project management way. So, how much do you think the training? Actually, those were 48 to 50 hours training, not really 35
Sure.
hours. How much was that helpful in establishing your concepts and making you understand the PMI way of thinking?
All right. So, first of all, in my current organization where I'm working, our method of project management is traditional waterfall, phase based, basically. That part was very relevant to me. It was very easy for me to understand, and I was getting it. Agile at start was a challenge because obviously it was a new concept for me. I've heard about it, but was not aware how that applies. But obviously, one revision, at least for a person like me, I needed to revise multiple times, especially the agile part. And once I kept going around it, it again, look at it more and more to understand those concepts, because as you said yourself, if you don't apply something, then it's more theoretical for you, for a person. So obviously you have the material itself is relevant. It is like if somebody goes and opens Pimbox 7, I honestly I bought Pimbox 7 but to be honest, confused as well when I opened Pimbox 7, that what the heck is that? Because the material was very helpful because it gives you direction how to study. You go to Pimbox 7, it is like somebody has written, he was sitting and he was thinking about something. Okay, let's write some articles about project management. It feels like that. Pimbox 6, yes, it's available on the web, honestly, and Pimbox 6 is a very has relevance for sure, but simulator, your courses, all of those were really a strong contributor because they created relevance to the material, how to study the material. Otherwise, I think for a person like me, I would have taken 2 or 3 years to finish this one. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for this. And I totally get your point because, the purpose of the training, the right purpose of the training, I would say, is not to just get you exam ready. The right purpose of the training is to impart that knowledge, skill set, that way of thinking, and this is the reason why PMI has kept that eligibility requirement is there. So that first, the person who is willing to learn the PMI way of thinking in the project management capacity, they learn it via the training, or there are other ways of doing that as well. And after that, like they take out their time to practice via mocks and different simulators and here and there to get exam ready. So this is the right perspective of going about it. So there are different providers and trainers who actually utilize these 35 hours of eligibility requirement to get you exam ready directly. And they have their own tactics, which probably would work for them. But being an ATP trainer or being the certified trainer by PMI, I would never recommend that. I would say that if you want to go the PMI way, the PMI way is to first learn, apply, connect what you do to or your experiences to the PMI way of thinking as much as you can, and then start practicing the scenarios based on that, right? So if you, I know not only one or two, but like multiple people who directly come to me asking that, Tuba, can you get us exam ready in 2 weeks time, 3 weeks time? I like politely apologize to them by saying that no, this is not possible. In 2 to 3 weeks time, and your current status, no, you know nothing about PMI, you know nothing about PM. How is that even possible to get to make you exam ready in 3 weeks time? Do you think, Dr. Ali, that this is possible for a person to become exam ready and know everything for the exam in just 3 weeks time?
Okay, I can give my example. I
Yeah.
don't know about others, but honestly, as I'm a PhD myself, so I would like to create an understanding of something which I'm going to study, and I try to apply that. Not possible for me, at least 2 to 3 weeks is not possible for me, because I actually go towards, try to understand it in depth. And I would suggest that rather than speed, and again, there are different people. Maybe there are people who can say, like, we'll do it in 4 weeks and we'll get exam ready. But I would say, rather than speed, if you try to put your focus towards the application of learning, understanding it to a level that you actually would try to become somebody like a subject matter expert on this, which takes time, but creating an understanding that you can apply that concept is more important than actually cramming it for 30 minutes, and then maybe you're lucky enough you pass the exam as well. But what's the use of that if you cannot apply it? I know whatever I have learned, as we were discussing, you and I am planning to actually apply agile strategies in my organization, especially towards the projects I'm handling. I've started doing that, indirectly creating feedback loops. Uh, and the unknowingly creating, small testing iterations, things like that. I've already started it. So I would say that it's as I said, for me it's a journey, and one should take his or her time to do that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you are absolutely right, and I keep on emphasizing on that, but I'm not really sure how much of that is understood by people. But at least we can take this opportunity to help people understand that what's the right expectation of these credentials. So, one other thing which people are very much scared of, and they actually claim that they find it the hardest part, which I personally think is the easiest part of this journey,
Sure.
is the application process. So I know like not only
No,
one or
no,
two,
that's
but multiple people who just like, I mean, they're clueless about how to write the experiences and projects in a way that the application is approved, because that's a prerequisite to sit in the exam. How easy or difficult was that process for you? Because I know I assisted you on that. So, I mean, how was that process for you?
Yes, I think for me that process was very easy. To be honest with you, the reason being, as I mentioned at while introducing myself, I had done multiple projects starting from 2001 back in Pakistan, agrochemicals. I did a commissioning work. Then I worked for erected a biomass to liquids and a landfill to liquid system for U.S. Department of Energy, and then gas to liquids plant. All of that experience which I had, I put that on the paper. It was as simple as that. And then Tuba reviewed it, and she told me that among those, the most relevant are X, Y, and Z, let's suppose. And then those were the ones we submitted that. So I think it's a pretty straightforward thing. Whatever you have learned, whatever you have applied, just put it on the paper and send it. Overthinking is never going to help in any situation, let alone PMP.
Yeah, and just one tip that I would like to give to those people who struggle with that, you can either take the help of a mentor or an expert. And if you want to still do that by yourself, the tip is that map your experience to the PMI way of thinking. Whatever you have learned during the training, because that application process starts after you are done with the training or those 35 hours. So whatever you have learned, connect your projects, your what like the life cycle from initiation to closure in the PMI way, and there is no reason why it would not be accepted. It will be accepted. A PMI wants you to start the project with an objective, like why did that project get started in the
For sure.
organization? Start with that. Throughout the life cycle, what was your contribution as a project manager or whichever role you were actually working in the initiation, in the planning, in the execution? I mean, one, two liners, okay, right? And after that, if the project is still ongoing, if there are multiple milestones delivered, what were those? And if the project is closed, what are the different outcomes the like you along with your team achieved for the organization? That's it.
I think you put it in the right way. Mapping basically your lifelong journey till now in a PMI way is the answer. I
Yeah.
think it's a one liner. Yeah.
And whichever like number of projects you are taking, write it in the same manner and make sure that you add the relevant PMI jargons in there. For instance, if you have implemented a risk strategy and you came up with a risk document, PMI calls it a risk register. Call it a risk register. But
Sure.
so yeah, I can guarantee, I can bet on this that your application will be approved if you write all of the projects in this way. So in the interest of time, Ali, I have like one more question for you.
Sure.
And probably we could quickly wrap that up, because after that we have like got a couple of questions from the audience. We need to keep like the last 10 minutes for that as well to answer those. So different people perceive the investment on these credentials, like the financial as well as the time investment, in different ways. Some people are only after better roles, job appraisals, and the monetary or commercial aspects. Some people are only after learning the skill set and making them better and better for the community, for the organization, or for everybody around them. Some people just learn these credentials out of curiosity, right? That what is in there, what is new in there for them. So what uh, defines the return on investment for you, or how would you define the concept of return that you are receiving or you may receive from the investment that you have done on PM?
Sure. I think I would say curiosity is always there in any part, whether you there is a relevance or not. But I would start in a different way. I'll start with the bottom line. The bottom line is that the PMI is an investment that will always give dividends to you throughout the rest of your life. So keeping that bottom line in mind, I'll give my answer step by step. First thing is obviously, as I said to you earlier, it has a direct relevance to what I'm doing right now. And I felt it all along my career. I would say, especially in the US, while I was building that bench scale system or a pilot system or a demonstration facility, that since when you're a PhD, you attack the problem from tactical point of view rather than from a project management point of view. I always felt there is a need, there is something missing. And that became very evident over the period of time with in all my projects, that even though there were project managers which were going along, most of them had no clue, honestly, with obviously some situation demands, for example, a hybrid approach, not a traditional waterfall approach. So they had no clue in that. So that uh, created a desire for me to dig out there, that what is out there for project management. Is there a way to manage a project then when I came into Nurion, they have something like which is called NPM standard, Nurian Project Management Standard, which made me realize that there is something which handles a traditional project, but are other type of projects as well. And as I said, I came across my old colleagues and they directed me that yes, there is a proper learning of this, is a full, I would say, domain in which you have to create a learning. So that basically created a connect. So I am very happy that the immediate return of investment is right there. I've started applying it, from project scheduling all the way to decision tree analysis, value stream mapping. All of that I have started applying in my present assignment, and they have given shown results to a level where I would say the confidence of my superiors are increasing by the day, that hey, perhaps this dude knows a lot about project management apart from being a PhD. So that's there. Now let's go towards the long term. I would give a general example rather than myself. As I said earlier, especially in my country, in the United States, basically organizations like NASA, like SpaceX, like Toyota, they are looking for individuals that have basically an agile experience. Now, it's not the matter of getting a good salary or going into for me, for going to a better position. It's how much you can contribute toward the success or the goals of your organization that matters. And all these strategies help you towards that. So long term, I think from I can see a lot of benefits out of it. So there is a short term benefit, there is a long term benefit, whether you look at it from whichever perspective. So the dividends are always there.
I totally agree with you. I 100% agree with you. If somebody is going to ask me this question, I would say the same. That I don't measure the payback or the return of these credentials or investment on these credentials, not in the short term way, or maybe in the short term way as well. But that's not my primary reason or
Sure.
perspective, objective of going with that. I usually perceive the outcomes and benefits in a long term way, like 2 years down the lane, 4 years
For
down
sure.
the lane, how I am getting the benefits. And I am 100% sure about it, not even 99%, but 100% sure about it, that if you are going to do these skill set and learning the credentials in the right way and with the right intention, you are going to get multiple benefits, tangible and intangible both. Maybe not in the short term, and if you are going to be lucky enough, maybe in the short term as well, but in the long run, definitely you are going to get benefited. You are going to get good roles. You are going to get a lot of recognition in your professional and personal circle. You are going to get the monetary gains as well. I'm 100% sure about it. But don't go after these credentials only with the intention of monetary gains. That is not the right way of going about it. This way, you will never be focused on the ultimate objective and the benefit of learning this skill set. And this is not only about PMP, this is about anything that
Every aspect of life.
any
Exactly.
aspect of
Excellent.
life, any aspect of life, absolutely. Just keep it simple and keep it beneficial, not only for you, but for everybody around. This is
Yes.
the right way of going about it. So, Ali, I'm very grateful to you that we had this conversation. I have got like a couple of queries about your
Sure.
PMP journey, and I mean some aspects that people would like you to answer. So, Kailash is asking that which book is better for PMP preparation, PMBOK 7th edition, or Rita Mulak's PMP exam prep book? You must be aware of Rita. She's
Yes.
very popular.
Yeah.
So he has actually placed three questions. So let's first answer this question, and
Okay.
then we will move to the second.
All right. Again, it's always personal, but I'll give you my perspective. As I said, basically, you should use a multi-domain learning simulator first is very important because obviously it is based on what the course outline is given to you. Whatever your mentor is teaching, you should do that. Read blogs in there, and then whenever you get a time, I think on if I put tiers on third tier, I will put then go ahead and read through maybe Pinbox 6th edition would be more relevant. But that's how I did my study. I did my most of the time, as I said, it was simulators, Tuba's slides, and then basically blogs. I read a lot of blogs on from PMI folks. You go right now, go to Google, just type PMI Agile. You will find an individual, some professional from an organization have written an article about Agile, and you can read about it. So I think it should be a multi-domain learning pattern rather than a book-specific one. That's my take on this.
Okay, thank you very much, and I would say the same. And on top of the different resources you mentioned, I would add that besides the different mocks and learning stuff provided by your mentor and the provider organization, also go for the YouTube channels because there are plenty
Yeah.
of different YouTube channels available. I can name some of them, like the channel by Andrew Ramdayal, the channel by David.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent. That
he's
200
excellent.
hard questions, I think I would, yes, I would have forgotten that. I would like to mention that too. Yes, second that.
Yeah, and David McLennan, he's also very good, and he has got some very good. He has provided some very good free PMP practice as well as learnings on his channel. Um, I am also a very big fan of Rita. Rita is also very good. There are other sources as well. For instance, you can also go for the some free courses available by very well-known
Yes.
trainers and providers on Udemy. So you can keep like multiple sources because in today's world expecting that you are going to learn like 1200 slides or 1400 slides, and this way the whole exam is going to be done or the whole learning is going to be done. This expectation is not correct. In
And
to,
if you, yes,
yes,
and if
please.
you see, if you put a agile way of studying, that is, you then adapt yourself, watch a video, see how they make
Yeah,
you understand
exactly.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, 100%. So yeah, multiple sources should be, yeah, maybe keep your primary source as the one provided by your mentor. That is correct. But learn from here and there. And I would also add that chat gpt or maybe like different co-pilots or version of the chat gpt like the one offered by pmi as well, infinity, superb source. You can
Yeah.
learn a lot from there. I would not say that only rely on chat gpt because that could be very risky as well. At times chat gpt is wrong as well. You need a
Yeah.
mentor or someone who is an expert in that area to verify and vet that if chat gpt is correct or not in some cases. But ChatGPT, like I would say 90% of the time, is very useful. It's very
Sure.
useful. Uh, AI can provide you very good graphs, charts, comparatives, slides, like in like just a few clicks. So yeah, that is another. So come up with your own customized study plan by incorporating multiple sources, but make sure that whatever you are doing, that is aligned and vetted by your mentor. That's very, very given, because there is a chance that you are not in the right direction, or you are not going
Yes.
for the right resource, right? So you should be having someone who could help you with that. Okay. Again, in the interest of time, we've got a couple of questions which are still not answered. So again, Kailash's question: how much time is required to get prepared for PMP, and how many hours required in a day to get prepared? I mean, he is asking your view and perspective on that. I think
Sure.
Ali already has talked about it, but maybe he missed that part. So just very briefly.
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, basically for a guy like me who was on the job, 4 hours after coming from the job, I tried sometime to put extra hours at night, but that is not valuable. As I said, what I found on a fresh Saturday, you can actually learn a lot versus a 8 hour learnings at night during a Thursday. So a fresh mind, time, it that all matters when, for me at least, when I'm studying. So 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours generally, Saturday or Sunday, yes, as much as I can make use of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I would also say the same, that I mean, maybe the training hours is going to be 35 to 40 hours. And on top of that, one should be investing another 100 to 120 hours for
Sure.
study. I mean, in total, of course, however you want to
Yes.
divide that in your weeks and months,
Yes.
depending on your availability. But like 40 hours for training, or like learning the skill set, and at least 100 to 120 hours for practicing mock exams, learning from here and there, and discussions with your mentor, and just making sure that you are actually in a position to apply your learnings and knowledge in the right way. So this is going to be a good study plan. We usually provide a study plan of I, as a mentor, provide a study plan of around 150 to 160 hours to my candidates, if that helps to you. Okay, Fahad is asking that how can we map the PMP approach and mindset in our job? I mean, this is a very broad question, but and there is no one right answer to this, but whatever you would like to add.
Yes, as I said earlier, that for me it was a self journey of self discovery. I have become a person who is now more prone towards agile mindset. I'll give my replies on that. That obviously a quick feedback loop, basically trying to bring more value in your work by identifying what is the most valuable part of the project you are doing, and how you can highlight its value in front of management, and then basically bringing it in focus are some things which are very valuable. But as far as the course domain is concerned, I think everything is relevant. If you are currently working as a project management, as I already said, all part of it, like starting from agile till basically traditional scheduling, value stream mapping, requirements gathering, all of these, although they are a part of PMP mindset, but are also a requirement of a good project management job as well. So they go, in my opinion, hand in hand. And if you apply PMP or PMI mindset, what additionally it can do for you is that you can squeeze the time of benefit realization.
I totally agree with you. And Fahad, just to add to what Dr. Ali mentioned, if you want to apply what you are learning in PMP, because Fahad is actually one of our delegates, and he's learning the PMP currently. So do not get overwhelmed with that. Maybe take a portion of it, for instance, scope management, right? And maybe correct your practices, or improve your
Yes.
practices in the scope management capacity first. Or maybe take out the example of documentation, right? If the documentation in your organization is not really up to the mark, I mean, it's haphazard. It's like in different archives and different sources, and people do not have access to that. So maybe start implementing the idea of organizational process that sits with. So it's like the right way of doing that is an incremental way, right? Iterative and incremental way. Rather, you just expect everything to be fixed and corrected or implemented the PMI way all at once, which is not a
as I said, as I gave an example, I think earlier at the very start, I implemented requirement traceability matrix. That I found was not available in at least in our setup. And I strongly think it has a value to it, especially with organizations having high attrition rate. That is a good record keeping methodology. So you have to find what is required in your job domain. And I'm absolutely sure PMP has an answer to it within their domain to which you can apply.
100%. So I'm very thankful to you, Dr. Ali, to take out time and to share your insightful journey and these very useful tips and tricks. In the end, like just any advice to the future aspirants and anybody who is willing to learn PMP, anything that you would like to advise to them?
Trust your mentor. I would say, first of all, it's a journey. Take it as a journey and try to get benefit out of this journey. Passing an exam, definitely, if I have taken this course, obviously, I wanted to have that certificate, but that was not my only goal. It's a long-term goal which you should look for. Basically, it's more for a guy like me, application of the concept is more important than the time I've spent grasping or cramming that concept. I'm not a crammer. I don't believe in what we call in our country ratification kind of a thing. You go and you just put it in your brain. I wouldn't have been a PhD if I was that kind of a person. Application of a concept for me is very important. I would recommend that to everybody, that take it from the perspective that you're going to apply these concepts and they are going to give you a long-term benefit.
Wonderful. And I'm sure Dr. Ali is going to agree with me that even the exam is not doable and achievable with ratification or with memorization. No, it's absolutely not possible. There is like not even a 0.001% chance that you would be able to crack the exam with one book only, or with PMBOK only, or with mastering PMBOK only. I mean, these are only sources to help you understand the mindset, but they want you to actually explore like the variety of different sources, the variety of different people. And
it's an exploratory journey for sure.
And this 1 hour webinar is actually a contribution from our side, from my as well as Dr. Ali's side, to pay back to the community, to let people know that whatever we know about this journey, and to help people like get in the right direction, right? So this is also a contribution. This is also a way of helping people understand what's the expectation, what you should be doing versus what you should not be doing. To that. Thank you very much, Dr. Ali, for your time. I am very, very grateful. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I'm very grateful to everybody who joined this session and who is going to listen to this webinar in the form of a recording later on. I will be back very soon with the success story of another PMP delegate. Till then, take care and have a very good day.
Thank you, Tooba. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'm really thankful that you gave me an opportunity to give a societal contribution to help everybody in better preparing for this journey. Thank you very much.
This is an honor for us, actually, a pleasure and honor for us. Thank you, everybody. Take care.